Lesson 5-10, Example 1. Our objective is learning to solve equations by multiplying and dividing fractions. So here we have an algebraic equation, 3/5 times L is equal to 25, and I want to find out what the value of L is. Well, 3/5 times L, if I want to get L by itself, I need to do the inverse of the operation that's going on here. And to keep it in balance, I'm going to do the inverse on both sides. So I'm going to say that 3/5 times L divided by 3/5, because this was a multiplication, so I'm going to divide to get L by itself, is equal to 25 divided by 3/5. And I'm doing it to both sides because I want to keep it in balance. So let's take a look here. 3/5 divided by 3/5 times L divided by 3/5. I'm going to think of that as a multiplication problem. And if I switch it to a multiplication, I'm going to do the inverse. So that 3/5 becomes a 5/3. On the other side, I have 25. I'm going to think of that as 25 first. I'm going to change this also to a multiplication problem, which means that I'm doing the inverse. So 5/3 here. So 3/5 times 5/5 is 15/5 times L, which is also just 1, or in 1 times L is just going to be L. And 25 times 5 is 125, and 1 times 3 is 3. So I have 125 thirds, and 125 thirds simplifies down to 41 and 2/3. So my solution to this problem up here is L is equal to 41 and 2/3. So 3/5 of 41 and 2/3 is 25. And that makes sense because 3/5 of some number should come out smaller than what I started with, and that does. Let's take a look at a different one here. Let's say I have 7 times x equaling 2/5. Well, again, I know that if I want to get x by itself, I need to do the inverse operation to both sides. That means that I'm going to divide this side by 7. And if I do it to this side, I'm going to divide this side by 7. Now I wrote it in two different fashions, but this is divide by 7 and this means divide by 7. I'm doing the same thing. Well, 7 divided by 7 is 1, which means that this is just x, and that equals 2/5 divided by 7. Well, I want to think of that as a multiplication problem. So 2/5 times, and I'm going to do the inverse. 2/5 divided by 7 is the same as 2/5 times 1/7. So that means that 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. So x is equal to 2/35. And I could go ahead and double check that if I wanted to and put that in and say 7 times 2/35 is equal to 2/5. So I'm going back up and putting in 2/35 for x. And I could say that 7 over 1 times 2/35 is equal to 2/5. This is my question here. And that comes up with 14/35. And if I divide this by 7 and I divide this by 7, I come up with 2/5. And that is correct. So this is a correct solution. Okay, let's take a look at one more, last one here. Here we have 5 times y divided by 8 equaling 6. So we have some number here. I'm just going to think of this as a number being divided by 8. Well, if I want to get this number by itself, then I need to do the inverse operation. So I'm going to divide here. I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. So if I have this 8 times 5y divided by 8, So I'm going to think of this 8 as 8 over 1. So 8 over 1 times 5y divided by 8 is 8 times 5y divided by 8 equaling 6 times 8. Well, 8 over 8, I can think of that as 1. And 1 times 5y is just going to be 5y. And 6 times 8 is 48. So I end up with 5y equaling 48. Well, I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So I end up with y equaling 48 divided by 5. Or, if I simplify that down, 9 3/5.